It is a wonderful and fertile event. I have to say that I came into this somewhat skeptical. I was on the steering committee and I was involved with the planning. I thought it was going to be a lot of fluff and not much substance, but it has been really exciting in two regards. The first of which is that it really has incubated a lot of ideas. I mean, I spent a lot of time thinking about how to try and make things better, and there are ideas that got incubated today that I've never thought of before. But the really most important part of this is that it has been a great forum to have folks with common interests get together and start talking about an issue that all of us have had in the back of our minds, but we've never just sat down and rolled our shirt sleeves up and started tackling. And if it hadn't been for this conference, we wouldn't have been doing that. This issue would have lingered on, and we would never have done anything definitive. And I really feel like something definitive is going to happen as a result of this. I've been involved in considering issues about transportation for the population that I'm committed to serving, those with intellectual disabilities. And we deal with the issues on kind of a put out the fire basis. This is the first time that I and my colleagues have gotten together and really started looking at a strategic plan about how to address and fix these issues. It surprised me to understand how much all of us had dropped the ball with regard to taking a forward-looking and strategic view about planning solutions for the issues. It's easy to content yourself with the idea that the other guy is doing it, and it turns out none of us were doing it until today. What I think is going to happen from this conference, though, is that some of the thoughts that were started here are going to result in get-togethers and meetings that wouldn't have happened otherwise, and that we really will start walking down the road towards achieving that, whereas I don't think we would have done that had there not been this conference. As I said, I was involved with the planning for this for some time, and Drusilla, who was the facilitator, said a lot of times, "You got to trust me," she said. "This is going to work out okay." And being kind of a stodgy New Yorker, I'd kind of mutter to myself and say, this sounds pretty hokey. But for those who follow me in this process, for the next people who are going to do this, what I would say is she's absolutely right. There's some real power to this kind of a conference that may not make sense when you first look at it, but when you get there, you'll understand.